All right, so the first deal of the month we have is going to be from Jackie. All right, Jackie's going to tell us how she found her motivated seller, adapted her deal strategy, and ended up making more profit than she originally thought. Here's Jackie.
Yay! So, the clicker. All right. Okay, so thank you again. This deal here, I originally acquired this deal from my website. It came in through my virtual marketing channels, right? So motivated seller, their motivation was that they wanted to sell this house so that they can go buy a bigger house down the road. And they wanted to convert to a country lifestyle. So I don't know, does anybody in here own like pigs and chickens and cows or anything like that? Anybody owns a farm? No one? All right, y'all. Two in the back. Everybody else are like city folk. But anyway, so that's what they wanted the money for. But they didn't have the down payment, so the sale of their current home was going to be their down payment. So that's why they were selling. So the inside of the property, pretty clean. I mean, it had its normal wear and tear on it. I guess as an investor, we would say that it was rent ready. You know, some carpet and paint, you know, good cleaning. And you probably would be able to get a good tenant in there would be attracted to it. However, if you were going to retail it, rehab it, and put it back on the market, it required a lot more upgrading. The roof was close to the end of its life, so I estimated the repairs and everything for retailing about $25,000. So my original goal was to wholesale this property, but what I ended up contracting with the seller with, when you add it together, that ARV was not conducive to wholesaling, was too high. You know, any educated and sharp investor would realize that there was not enough meat in that transaction. So I had to go to plan B. And this is why I wanted to share this deal. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. The ARV, or after repair value, is about $125,000 on the low end, $140,000 if you're gonna, you know, do it HGTV style, you know, the granite and just make it really jazzed up and stuff if you're gonna really do that, of course. And yep, okay, so I explained all of that. So my plan B, I went back to the seller and I said, hey, Mr. Seller, I know you need this money to go and close on your second home. Here's how I can get you that down payment. Because they could not move out of the house unless they closed on the other house. And they couldn't close on the other house unless they had money for the down payment to close on the other house. So that means that I had to close on this deal with them, but I did not want to give them all of the money for the total purchase price. So keep that in mind. So what I ended up doing, I contracted with them as a wholesale deal for $75,000, but instead I says, Mr. Seller, if you would agree to $72,000, what I would do is at closing, I would give you $45,000 right now at closing so that you can move forward and qualify with your financing for your second purchase if you would hold a seller-held second mortgage. So that's what we did. So they agreed, they took the $45,000, they were able to qualify for their mortgage, they had all the funds and escrow and everything was great. They did a second mortgage for $27,000 or the difference for, I gave them 6%, just a little something, because I didn't plan on keeping it. But it was interest only, and no payments for the duration until after they moved out and after any renovations. So my first mortgage was actually a private lender. So I borrowed money from a private lender and then closed on this loan. I borrowed $65,000 from the private lender, gave the seller $45,000, and then now I have 2 mortgages on this property. Fair enough? Everybody following? So my cash back at closing was $17,000. So after marketing the property extensively and very aggressively, I've gotten very good at that, this is what I was able to come up with. I had 5 full price offers on my first open house, and 2 were full price and 3 were above. So I had competing offers. So I took the one that was the most, of course. So that offer was $145. But we ended up closing at $130 because that's what the appraisal came at. So here we go. $130,000. I held it for 60 days through the first from acquisition through marketing and cleanup and all that stuff is about 60 days. So I had 2 payments to make with my first mortgage. I paid off my first mortgage. I paid realtor fees because I did list it. And I also gave my realtor, the buyer's agent, a bonus as well. There goes my marketing costs. I really didn't do much cleanup. The market was so hot that I didn't really have to do much renovation other than just tidying up the place. And I also even gave seller concession too and paid off the second mortgage that I owed. So between the first closing cash out and the second mortgage cashing out, if you add the 2 together, that's my gross profit that I made on this deal without ever seeing this property. So this property was way outside of my driving distance, about 3 hours away from me in Bradenton. I never saw it. I had a joint venture partner that went to the house and opened it up so we could do all the showings and the open houses and stuff like that, who monitored, like boots on the ground, as we call it. But I never stepped foot in this house. I never seen it other than the pictures that was taken and emailed to me. So this was a very creative way of putting this deal together, and it was a good opportunity. Oh, special shout out to Equity Title. They're one of our business members, and they helped me close on deal 1, on the first closing as well as the second closing. They're awesome. Even with all my craziness, they closed on the deal for me.
All right, we have time for a couple questions for Jackie. Would anybody like to ask a question? Raise your hands, all of you. Got a question? Yes. Yes, sir. What are some of your marketing secrets? And I didn't catch the rest. Oh, is there some? Okay.
Well, one of the secrets that I do, which is not really a secret, Rob Arnold, he helps me out from time to time with that. A flat fee listing, so that's the first one. So the MLS is always the best place to put your property if you want a lot of eyes on it in a short period of time. So flat fee listing, anywhere from $99 to $299, $399, something like that. And then you can set your commission rate as you see fit for your deal. But the caveat to that is that you have to market the property yourself. So that's step 1. And then I don't allow any viewings of the house. I only do 1 open house. And I create a ruckus, a circus, a stampede into the house. Why? Because it creates scarcity. Everyone's looking at each other in a really tight space, wondering who's gonna get this house. So I set 1 scheduled viewing where all realtors, rent-to-own buyers, owner financing. In my advertising, I don't put any contingencies and financing. Everyone is welcome. And that helps a lot too, because that creates the demand for the property.
All right, yes, sir. So how did you drive the seller to your website? What marketing did you use?
That's a really great question. The expert for that is right here. It's fine. But you have Google AdWords, you have, I use social media. I do a lot of postings online and having people, go through a sales funnel. There's a process, there's a, method to my madness of getting people to my website. But that's in simple terms, that's what I would do. Yes, absolutely. For this particular seller, did they tell me how they found? I always ask that question when I'm on the phone with them because I want for my own tracking. And they found me through social media.
All right, another round of applause for Jackie. And if there's any more questions, thank you. If there's any more questions for Jackie, please post them on Facebook or come see Jackie tonight. Okay? Thank you. Okay, sure.